Okay, so this is Dave Sicily, and we are welcome to the stream. And now we're doing the second round of the ninja historically accurate ninja build. Okay, so what it actually is a historically accurate ninja? But I saw a documentary some years ago about the real ninja clan that has like an actual ninja scroll. You can trace the clan to like ninjas like hundreds of years. Anyway, they've always played. They're like the closest thing to a real living ninja clan today. And he shared all these insights into the ninjas, and that's where I got this idea for this build. Because whenever you see people do ninja builds on let's change the angle. Whenever you see people do ninja builds and like other streams and stuff, it's basically just an anime thing. Big sword, lots of jumping around, magic, everything. I thought, well, what would happen if I played something historically more accurate where the ninjas weren't basically just super anime and super magic, right? So that's the idea for this build. That's where the concept comes from. And so in this case, so first thing, this guy said during this documentary, when ninjas had to choose between using a sword and a bow, 9 times out of 10, they would use a bow. Because the bow had more practicality and utility, they can attach more things to it, right? No, so ninjas didn't actually really use, yes, I know it's actually shinobi, but I'm saying ninja here, okay? Ninjas didn't actually use swords, and if they did, they used knives. And the closest thing to a Japanese-style like knife-like thing in Elden Ring is the wakizashi, and I decided to go with that because it's the most Japanese-like. I know they actually use something smaller. I don't know if it's called a tanbo. That's probably wrong. I don't care. But that's what I'm using. It's the closest thing. It's to an actual knife, adequate or properly flavored knife in Elden Ring. Short bow, there's obviously way better bows in Elden Ring, but ninjas always focused on being lightweight, moving stealthy. They wanted to move quickly, so short bow. So that's the only option I got available. Sorry, it's the only thing that's small and compact that is appropriate for. I know there's actually a couple that's even lighter, but it's also on brand. Apparently, ninjas also really like to use. They had these like hooks on their hands. They'd have like climbing hooks. Excuse me. And it would help them climb. They have their feet and their hands, and they're kind of like claws. So they would actually have these as tools and even weapons sometimes. And so, well, I get to use like a claw-like weapon. And the closest thing to a claw-like weapon in Elden Ring, there's a few claws in Elden Ring, but there's a few that have a sort of like hook-like quality to them. And so I went with the Raptor Talons because they kind of look like the ones they would actually use. The other major thing about the ninjas that is mostly inaccurate that you see in depicted in movies and anime and all that is this group of ninjas that would like invade entire buildings or estates and then they just go like on a big fighting spree and killing everyone. No, that's not accurate. Usually what they really did was they just sort of snuck in, focused on the one target and took it out, and most often it was with poisons. They very rarely ran in there and just stabbed people. It was all about poisons. So that's the main focus of this build. Of it being historically accurate anyway, or at least as close to historically accurate as I can get. So much of my options here are poison based. So I got the poison grease for the putting on the weapons. I got the fielded pot, which is the strongest poison available to me I can just throw. They used a lot of tools, throwing tools. Their main choice of weapon was actually not swords or shurikens. It was throwing daggers. They used these very nice spike-like throwing daggers that are very hard to throw. The throwing dagger in the Elden Ring is the closest to their actual shape. Not quite. It was actually double-bladed or double-pointed on either side. And the poison spray is the most magical option in the build. But they did actually the real ninjas did actually have a poison that they did chew up and spit, and they could spit at people. Mostly it was just for applying the poison generally whenever they use it on their weapon or whatever. But they could spit, and they had to actually chew it up. So this is the closest thing to that's most magical, but is within the realm of believability for what they would actually do. What else do I need to cover? I got some serpent arrows, poison-tipped arrows, totally within their range or within their purview of abilities. And of course, they were more than happy to use like animal parts, pieces, claws, teeth, if it exuded a poison. They were more than happy to use it. That's the Venom Fang. And some other thing, a really important thing with these ninjas, it wasn't always just one guy. Very rarely was it just one ninja that just runs in and attacks people. No, that whole lone wolf ninja thing, not really true. I mean, there were sometimes, but according to this guy, it wasn't really true. No, they would always have help. Thus, the Mimic tier. It's perfectly well within reason for me to ask for help, because there would usually be another ninja or a buddy working with each other to plan these assassinations and things. It was not just one guy always going in by himself, unless they really need to be really stealthy, like really discreet. Oh shit, I'm supposed to be playing ninja. Okay. I'll start playing ninja when I'm over the... up there up on the ramparts. You're sleeping, so I don't have to sneak past you. Yeah, that's another thing. I know you'll think, oh, I'm a ninja, so therefore I should be assassinating everyone. No, 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 no. Accurately speaking, they would have been trying to sneak by, like, and be completely unknown, and kill their target completely unknown, which is why they use poison so often. It was much easier to just hide them. Hide a poison that would be to try and sneak by everyone. Okay, so there's no hope of sneaking by as is. Okay, him I can sneak by. Him I cannot. Crap. Well, running away and escaping was also a huge part about being a ninja, so... getting out safely. Don't have to kill everything. So this is perfectly accurate. Of course, now I'm like halfway through the whole darn dungeon. I haven't done a single ninja-like thing yet. No well. Stormveil is a big... oh, Stormveil is going to be where this test fails, so I should really be focusing on that, because that's where the crazy shit starts happening. I'm not sneaking by a slime. Now I play ninja. Sneaking by quietly. I actually wanted to remove the cloak, but apparently the cloak on the black knife armor here is what provides that, like, sound nullifying effect. So I can't remove it. Also, I think there are better helmets that look more ninja-like, but I don't seem to have them. Yeah, this build should have some real problems with more damaging bosses, actually. I've already noticed I'm taking a little more damage than I'm used to, just on the virtue of using lighter armor. And I cannot see a thing. I normally have a lantern, but I had to make room for all my other tools. Remember, I am allowed to call for help. I probably won't need it, but I am allowed, because ninjas did not actually work alone. Well, I mean, not in major situations. Well, that was... yeah, I totally didn't need him. I didn't need the help. Okay. More ninja-like would be to sneak through this area, but... actually, no, that's actually wrong, now that I think about it. Sneaking through... they would never do that. What they would actually do is they'd probably just climb up the cliff and go around. That'd be more ninja-like, to get around. Infiltration. Big deal. To the real ninja shinobi, if you prefer. By the way, I'm pretty sure they weren't like officially just called ninja or shinobi. That's actually more of a term for what they do, not necessarily what they are. But I don't know it. And that's okay. I don't have to know it. Same idea going through these guys. They more likely would have gone through they just scale the walls or go through the back or something than actually try and sneak through the front like this. Which is actually an option, isn't it? But then again, I can sneak around, like just go around and bypass Stormveil Castle, but I don't think you can go back in again from that side, which is... Hey, what are you doing here? Get out of here. Which is not what I want to do. Now I'm going to try to do this without help first. What's my setup now? I'm trying to use the bow more from a sniping capacity, so... I haven't even come close to needing to use my spray mist yet. I really gotta remember to actually use my skills here. Oh, he's already poisoned. Cool. Yeah, I'm just not used to timing Raptor from the mist. More used to timing dodges. Maybe I should just use quick step. Yeah, I'd probably be dead in most circumstances. But going through the side, that's the ninja way. That's what we want to do. Can I avoid the birds? I think I did. Okay, I actually did some stealth. Or did I? No, I did not. Okay. Well, I sort of got through. Oh, son of a... Yeah, I'd be a terrible ninja. Oop. I can't see. Okay, they didn't even allow me a chance to play ninja there. They just spotted me out from the outside. I don't think there's anything I could have done. Well, short of using magic, but using magic is definitely not historically accurate. So, I mean, I'm already pushing the boundaries. Well, okay, I didn't push the boundaries. I have bypassed it. So, using actual magic would bypass it even more. You know, there's another thing you can do. Instead of trying to avoid the barrels, just break them. They're not going to blow up when they're broken. Yeah, I definitely don't want to get killed in here, so I'm going to take some precautions. Alright, where are you? Oh, I don't have the lantern. I avoided that. That's suitably oh, okay. Magically jumping into the air to avoid attacks is definitely not ninja-y, but it's... Well, for now, we'll just go with it, because we've already established that this is not the perfect test environment, or this is not the perfect example of what I'm going for here for historically accurate ninja stuff, but... Like, I should probably using more something along the lines of, like, well, if there was an ability that allowed me to just, like, do cartwheels and jump around people, I would, but there's... I'll just have to go with more, like, quick step. Maybe there is something that allows me to do cartwheels. I know there's a ring that I can do it in some of the prior games. Okay, so this is ninja-ish. Wait. Now I'm being a ninja. Getting around by way of rooftops. Now we're getting it. Not being caught by everyone though, not so much. But what can I say? I need to... I don't think there'd be any way, short of using magic and all of those like disappearing and vanishing and abilities, to actually go without using to get through that whole area without being seen, without using those abilities. So we are going to start with the bow, which is not reading him, reaching. Oh, right, the storm. Alright, I gotta use my... Really? Oh, right. Now, if I'm playing my cards correctly here, I'm not gonna just try and run by. He can come to me. Come on. Alright, I have the pots. Yeah, this whole... I'm not even using the bleed stuff. No, 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 no. Yes, you can magic my bum. Put her there. Throw those arrows in my butt. I like it. Oh my god, that sounds horrible. I didn't realize how horrible that must sound. Yes, I like it magically. Shit, now I gotta kill these guys. Or I can just, whoo, I can play ninja and run away from them. I don't remember. Whoop. having any stuttering issues here, but so far, this is running beautifully. And the stream quality is... okay, it's not like the best in the world, but it looked better than when I was streaming the PS5 version. Well, it's mostly consistent. I'm not seeing any... shit. Yay! Sorry if I'm not ninja enough for anyone. It's just... I'm just not wired to ninja. I don't like stealth games, I don't do stealth, I just don't want to do it. So if anyone's hoping for me to be all sneaky stealthy, it's not really going to happen. I mean, I tried a few times there, and I still found myself just wanting to run by everyone. And for anyone who thinks I'm going through the game too quickly, I mean, even with any build I would have, it would be really easy early on. And no, I don't think, as I said much earlier, I don't think running around slowly leveling up and grabbing all the items first is better. Like a lot of streamers do that. I think that's boring. I don't want to spend a few hours just getting the items and beating the bosses. Like I said, some of the important items for this build are in the DLC. And I am not beating up mode with low-level wakizashi or whatever I can manage just to complete it. It's not a challenge run. And by the end of the game, there'll be plenty of... okay, I have to fight this guy. I know there's a lot of cheap ways to do this, but it's this classic ninja versus knight versus heavily armored guy. So, I have to do this. Why did... you're already dead. Ho ha 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 ha. Hey. You are already dead. Mwahaha. Then again, so would I be if I didn't stop squaring around. Okay, now I just want I always want them dead super quickly, so... let me summon! Oh, come on. Okay, fine. Okay, there we go. Took a minute. Remember how to... right, I can't do a double attack. You gotta press the... no, why did you... wait, no. That is not what I meant to do. Well, whatever, she's almost dead. And now she's poisoned. One shot in your legs. Oh, yeah, that's, that was just murder. But hey, that's the kind of guy you hired. It's a ninja. It's murder is what we do. Okay, so this is the point where I can fix this super overpowered build. Okay, well, it's probably not overpowered, but I think this style of weaponry and the way I'm going about this is not accurate. What would make it accurate would be if I applied the poisons.
come out, say I,
Why am I waving?
or will ye be gravestones?
What's with the wave? Okay, whatever.
Where did ye flee, my sweetings?
But the test here,
Come out
the
from
subtest,
whence
the point of
ye
the subtest
hide.
was not to see if the build was
There are
okay or
books
working on
and
it. Of course it's
light
okay. Of course it's overpowered.
aplenty.
It's
Do
great.
they
It's really,
not?
it's much stronger than I was expecting, honestly. I was not going for this.
To be better
When I added, when I added the poisoned hand, I was just thinking in terms of like, well, I gotta get some damage somewhere. I gotta apply this thing, but no, it seemed to work just fine. It was just fine. But this is where I think it's pushing the line here. I think it's one thing with something like this that does the damage naturally, as part of just the way it's designed, but all these special enchantments. I mean, what's the occult about a ninja? Ninjas aren't occultists, right? So you get my point. It's going a little too far in a direction where it feels like this setup is a little on the magic side. I mean, arcane is literally a synonym for magic type abilities. I know that's not necessarily what the arcane stat is about, but that's what the word means. I didn't even get to use poison, spear, hand strike, but honestly, I mean, it does look ninja-like, but still, for what it is and what it does, yeah. So this build is a little too magic-y, but. Is it ninja to just push a guy off a cliff? I would think so. Guess it depended if they're trying to be quiet about it or if they're trying to make a show of it. But just in general, if it didn't matter, just so long as he died, yeah. I absolutely think they would have pushed a guy off a cliff. Nope. That work? Did he poison? Yes, he is. Holy crap. This does a lot of damage really fast. I gotta look up if regular poison stacks with. Like, he's gonna die too fast before he can. Before I can even see if the two poison stack. I'm pretty sure they don't. This has now turned into more of a challenge build, really. I mean, that previous build, I was pushing like 130, 140 on a lot of those bleeds and poisons. Now I'm all the way down. What am I down to? Okay, 72 is still pretty good. But I don't have any arcane now. So honestly, this is a lot worse than before. I think I'm going to need... Ooh, butterflies. I think I'm going to need more... Oop. Nope, too late. I mean, actually a fantastic example of ninjing would be about fighting knights, because that was the whole point. They needed a way to battle samurai, all heavily armored and, you know, combat specialized. They couldn't fight them head on. So when they saw all these ninjas fighting samurai straight up like that, they didn't do that. They snuck up on them. Okay, you know what? In the interest, since there's a possibility, there's actually no one really watched it, but there's a possibility that if no one doesn't see my previous video, I'm going to do it now. What a ninja is supposed to be doing, which is sneaking up on knights. So this is exactly the sort of thing they would do. So first, I am going to summon my buddy, because that's totally within reason what they did. Let me see here. What can be my throw? Right, I can begin by throwing a... No, don't. Where are you going? Why are you walking? You know what? That's fine. That's fine. That is a totally acceptable result. Maybe I led him away, freaking leaving his friend behind. No, that's totally not fair. But that would be... This would be accurate. This would be more like what they would do. They would sneak. They'd find a way to get the other guy to walk away. Okay, now we're going to wait for his friend to come back. Get into a... Okay, we'll get into a sniper position. And... Wow. I can still hit you with those bows from here. With those arrows. Your shield ain't working. Wait, where'd you go? Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating. I think his glove got stuck to the wall. Or it's supposed to be like an arrow. No. Okay. That didn't work out. Oh god. Well, that little jerk cheated. But I got him just the same. Well, I guess it was kind of even. The first guy walked away and then he just teleported back. So, whatever. Should we bother with this gargoyle come up here? I don't know. I can't sneak up on him. He sneaks up on me. Yeah, sure, why not? Hmm? Oh, wait. Did I just use a... Right, it's not in my usual spot that I put these. There you are. Hello. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Now I'm all poisoned up. I gotta find an opportunity to use throwing knives. Oh, here we go. Computer just shut itself off again. Yeah, I think I might not want to depend too much on using the poison grease. Oh, I gotta turn my computer back on. You guys can quit now, you're dead. I mean, you don't need to maintain service. I mean, I'm pretty sure your loyalty, your duties ended after you died. Okay, let's see here. Now here's one time I actually get to play Ninja. Oh. I told you I'm not good at this sort of thing. Let's just try this again instead of pushing the fight. Let's just start again from the beginning. From the top. You're gonna follow me all the way out here? No, I'm not gonna have him jump over the side. That's cheap. There. Did that tree really have to die? Oh. So I guess that's too that's okay, I can go for help. I'm allowed. Ooh, what is that? Those stupid things. They look like they're purple, but they're just a plant. And they're probably really good. I think they're actually useful in poison making. So that actually applies to me now, but honestly, I haven't really needed the poisons much so far. Yes, I know, we would all love to see me start from level 1, you know, then work my way up, but a lot of these key items in this ninja build are actually fairly late into the game. And I don't want to do that. I don't like spending hours just setting it all up. I'd rather I have more fun just like having the build set and then fighting every meat creature, every boss in the game, rather than there's a whole bunch of bosses I have to fight, like, you know, out of build or not quite right yet, and then have to beat them, and then I can get to the point where I can get the actual weapons I need. So it's just, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun. I'd rather fight everyone with the build I imagined, even if it means a lot of those early bosses end up being a little too easy. But as I've said in previous streams, don't worry. I'm sure those bosses of the DLC and the final bosses will be more than hard enough. I have not noticed any freezing or anything yet. Yes, I know the 30 FPS sucks, but I'm trying to see if it makes a difference on the... I mean, I know it doesn't really make a difference on the stream quality. But I want to see if it makes a difference for, like, for freezing or anything like that I saw reported last time. Alright, as I was saying, I don't want to do the skip. I don't want to spend 30-40 minutes trying to get it right. It's possible I'll get it done in one jump, but, you know, no point. I'm going to have to go to Neil anyway. I know you guys will want to see me fight Neil anyway. And in truth, Neil is actually the kind of boss that ninjas would not, or the kind, I shouldn't say boss, the kind of target ninjas would not fight. Like, not in the, not with the circumstances that are presented during the Neil boss fight, where there's like, he's got, you know, it's him in his castle with, you know, 2 guards with him. They would actually Well, I'm not going to say they never tried doing that, because keep in mind the source that I use this is this ninja guy who exists in a real ninja clan. The one of the few that still remain. He'd never do anything like that, right? Maybe they did do it in the past. Who knows? I'm not a historian, so don't quote me here as being like this is all being perfectly accurate. I'm just going on because I thought it'd be a fun idea to try doing like a proper ninja, you know, instead of just weird anime crap. Not that I think anime is crap, I just mean in terms of the craziness that you see in anime. But for the most part, and at least from what the guy in that documentary said, I got the impression they would never do this. They would never sneak into a castle, target like one important... They would target an important general, like military target like that. But they wouldn't just like run into the castle, find him in his room and says, "Haha, we shall kill you now," you know, and then just go after him. They wouldn't do that. There's too much risk involved. Ninjas it was actually critically important for ninjas, and keep in mind, I'm aware of shinobi is a more accurate term, and there are more accurate terms for ninjas. I'm just using ninja for now, okay? So no one complain. But shinobis and ninjas actually really prided themselves on being able to get in and get out without being seen. It was actually important to the mystique of the ninja. Like, they had a mystique. It was very important that they had this idea that they were treated like ghosts. Like, people weren't even sure if they quite existed or not, or even if they were real, or if they were evil, vengeful spirits, or even protected by demons, right? It was important for them to be viewed that way. So if they just ran into a castle and a few of them happened to get cut down or injured by the guards in the assassination attempt, and they limp out of the castle, and sure, if they got their... Oops, that hurt. Sure, they got their target, they succeeded on their mission, but now everyone knows it's just some idiots running around in black costumes, you know, and extra dark costumes, you know. That doesn't really help your prestige, your image, right? So they needed that image to know, like, oh my god, the ninjas are coming. Where are they coming from? How are they coming? We don't know where, and when they'll come. No, it's not dark. What are you doing? Well, I guess that is the moon. No, I'm not fighting a deathrite bird. I mean, there's one in the DLC. If I need to fight one, I'd rather fight one there, because then I know it'll be more an even level, whereas this one doesn't feel. And plus, ninjas would never fight a magical undead bird. No, I'll do the one in the DLC. I like having all the bosses that are mostly better suited for my level there, because there they'll be all definitely around my level. I mean, yes, I'll have shadow fragments to ease them up, but at least it'll be more evenly balanced. Or with him, who knows how it'll go with that one. One though in the winter fields, in the ice fields, is actually tougher. He's the one who has their full range of attacks. But no, I'd rather do the one in the DLC, just more organized that way. So I was saying, yeah, it was important for ninjas to feel like there's almost like ghosts, right? So they would never go into a castle like that. I mean, not saying they never did. They probably did. I'm sure they felt like they needed to, or if they were paid enough, because there were some that were basically just ended up being mercenaries, you know, paid assassins. But they didn't actually like doing that. And if they did, they'd probably wait until the guy was like naked and asleep, like out of his armor, alone in his quarters. Or even better, they'd wait till he like, oops, no, I'm not fighting you. You are not interesting enough for me to fight. They would probably wait until the guy went on vacation or something, went out to his cottage or whatever, and then dealt with him. Not when he was in his castle. Just too many things could go wrong in a castle. Now, you're probably thinking, well, you just ran through this area. You just ran through this. Well, yeah, you know, A, it's because, well, I don't want to fight everything. I mean, I know it turns this whole run into more like just a boss rush, but, A, well, I don't want to fight everything, and B, that's how ninjas actually worked, honestly. They could be as quick and as efficient as possible. So at least this time I can say I'm just being accurate. I'll probably still do this with all the other characters, unless there's a build that works with me starting from the very beginning. Something like a barbarian build would actually be possible for that, because with a barbarian, all it really matters is, do I have some kind of shout of some kind and a big weapon, and that'll be possible straight from level 1. So maybe I could do that if I do that build. But right now I'm leaning towards another. Oh, I'm used to that button for something else. I'm leaning towards doing something else with shouts and a barbarian-like build that's not going to start from level 1. But hey, if you guys want that, you know, let me know. I will accommodate if there's enough interest to do it a certain way. Well, that's not very ninja-like. As it stands right now, this is how I'm doing it. Bugger. Now we're gonna go fight Neo in a way a ninja never actually would. So this is probably gonna be rough. And here is the shiny, it's the Shotel, it sucks. Or at least everyone says it sucks, I'm not sure, I've never actually used it. Any kind of the cutlasses. But I will, when I do the ninja build, or not the ninja build, the pirate build. When I do the pirate build, they do use cutlasses. So I will be using one, well not that, not the Shotel specifically, but something like it. Don't fight the people behind me, stupid. She's doing it again. Oh. Okay, now you're being worthwhile. What made you change your mind, you moron? Jesus. What the hell? What the hell is going on here? You want something done right, you do it yourself. God damn it. Tish, you worthless piece of crap. Even once you finally did something right and went for the guards, you still just end up getting killed anyway. Get out of here, Tish. What a waste of grave blooms. What a waste. Ooh, what is that? Those stupid things. They look like they're purple, but they're just a plant. And they're probably really good. I think they're actually useful in poison making. So it actually applies to me now, but honestly, I haven't really needed the poisons much so far. Yes, I know, we would all love to see me start from level 1 you know, then work my way up. But a lot of these key items in this ninja build are actually fairly late into the game. And I don't want to do that. I don't like spending hours just setting it all up. I'd rather I have more fun just like having the build set and then fighting every meat creature, every boss in the game, rather than there's a whole bunch of bosses I have to fight, like, you know, out of build or not quite right yet, and then have to beat them, and then I can get to the point where I can get the actual weapons I need. So it's just, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun. I'd rather fight everyone with the build I imagined, even if it means a lot of those early bosses end up being a little too easy. But as I've said in previous streams, don't worry. I'm sure those bosses of the DLC and the final bosses will be more than hard enough. I have not noticed any freezing or anything yet. Yes, I know the 30 FPS sucks, but I'm trying to see if it makes a difference on the... I mean, I know it doesn't really make a difference on the stream quality. But I want to see if it makes a difference for, like, for freezing or anything like that I saw reported last time. Alright, as I was saying, I don't want to do the skip. I don't want to spend 30-40 minutes trying to get it right. It's possible I'll get it done in one jump, but, you know, no point. I'm going to have to go to Neil anyway. I know you guys were wanting me to fight Neil anyway. And in truth, Neil is actually the kind of boss that ninjas would not, or the kind, I shouldn't say boss, the kind of target ninjas would not fight. Like, not in the, not with the circumstances that are presented during the Neil boss fight, where there's like, he's got, you know, it's him in his castle with, you know, 2 guards with him. They would actually, well, I'm not going to say they never tried doing that, because keep in mind the source that I use, this is this ninja guy who exists in a real ninja clan. The one of the few that still remain. He'd never do anything like that, right? Maybe they did do it in the past. Who knows? I'm not a historian, so don't quote me here as being like this is all being perfectly accurate. I'm just going on because I thought it'd be a fun idea to try doing like a proper ninja, you know, instead of just weird anime crap. Not that I think anime is crap. I just mean in terms of the craziness that you see in anime. But for the most part, and at least from what that guy in that documentary said, I got the impression they would never do this. They would never sneak into a castle, target like one important... They would target an important general, like military target like that. But they wouldn't just like run into the castle, find him in his room and says, "Haha, we shall kill you now," you know, and then just go after him. They wouldn't do that. There's too much risk involved. Ninjas it was actually critically important for ninjas, and keep in mind, I'm aware shinobi is a more accurate term, and there are more accurate terms for ninjas. I'm just using ninja for now, okay? So no one complain. But shinobis and ninjas actually really prided themselves on being able to get in and get out without being seen. It was actually important to the mystique of the ninja. Like, they had a mystique. It was very important that they had this idea that they were treated like ghosts. Like, people weren't even sure if they quite existed or not, or even if they were real, or if they were evil, vengeful spirits, or even protected by demons, right? It was important for them to be viewed that way. So if they just ran into a castle and a few of them happened to get cut down or injured by the guards in the assassination attempt, and they limp out of the castle, and sure, if they got their, oops, that hurt. Sure, they got their target, they succeeded on their mission, but now everyone knows it's just some idiots running around in black costumes. You know, and extra dark costumes, you know. That doesn't really help your prestige, your image, right? So, they needed that image to know, like, oh my god, the ninjas are coming. Where are they coming from? How are they coming? We don't know where, and when they'll come. No, it's not dark. What are you doing? Well, I guess that is the moon. No, I'm not fighting a deathrite bird. I mean, there's one in the DLC. If I need to fight one, I'd rather fight one there, because then I know it'll be more an even level, whereas this one doesn't feel. And plus, ninjas would never fight a magical undead bird. No, I'll do the one in the DLC. I like having all the bosses that are mostly better suited for my level there, because there they'll be all definitely around my level. I mean, yes, I'll have shadow fragments to ease them up, but at least it'll be more evenly balanced. Or him, who knows how it'll go with that one. What's that one in the winter fields, in the ice fields, is actually tougher. He's the one who has their full range of attacks. But no, I'd rather do the one in the DLC. Just more organized that way. So I was saying, yeah, it was important for ninjas to feel like there's almost like ghosts, right? So they would never go into a castle like that. I mean, not saying they never did. They probably did. I'm sure they felt like they needed to, or if they were paid enough, because there were some that were basically just ended up being mercenaries, you know, paid assassins. But they didn't actually like doing that. And if they did, they'd probably wait until the guy was like naked and asleep, like out of his armor, alone in his quarters. Or even better, they'd wait till he like, oops, no, I'm not fighting you. You are not interesting enough for me to fight. They would probably wait until the guy went on vacation or something, went out to his cottage or whatever, and then dealt with him. Not when he was in his castle. Just too many things could go wrong in a castle. Now, you're probably thinking, well, you just ran through this area. You just ran through this. Well, yeah, you know, A, it's because, well, I don't want to fight everything. I mean, I know it turns this whole run into more like just a boss rush, but, A, well, I don't want to fight everything, and B, that's how ninjas actually worked, honestly. They could be as quick and as efficient as possible. So at least this time I can say I'm just being accurate. I'll probably still do this with all the other characters, unless there's a build that works with me starting from the very beginning. Something like a barbarian build would actually be possible for that. Because with a barbarian, all it really matters is, do I have some kind of shout of some kind and a big weapon? And that'll be possible straight from level 1. So maybe I could do that if I do that build. But right now I'm leaning towards another... Oh, I'm used to that button for something else. I'm leaning towards doing something else with shouts and a barbarian-like build that's not going to start from level 1. But hey, if you guys want that, you know, let me know. I will accommodate if there's enough interest to do it a certain way. Well, that's not very ninja-like. As it stands right now, this is how I'm doing it. Bugger. Now we're gonna go fight Neon away. A ninja never actually would. So this is probably gonna be rough. And here is the shiny. It's the Shotel. It sucks. Or at least everyone says it sucks. I'm not sure. I've never actually used it. Any kind of the cutlasses. But I will, when I do the ninja build, or not the ninja build, the pirate build. When I do the pirate build, they do use cutlasses. So I will be using one, well, not the Shotel specifically, but something like it. Don't fight the people behind me, stupid. She's doing it again. Oh. Okay, now you're being worthwhile. What made you change your mind, you moron? Jesus. What the hell? What the hell's going on here? want something done right, you do it yourself. God damn it. Teesh, you worthless piece of crap. Even when she finally did something right and went for the guard, she still just ended up getting killed anyway. Get out of here, Teesh. What a waste of grave blooms. What a waste. Oh, crap. I don't care about this guy. Come on. Stop attacking me off screen, you ass. You're kidding me. He just went around the back. Jeez. Is the stupid bird gone yet? Before anyone asks, how would ninjas fare against giants? I don't know. They don't exist, people. I have no idea. But I guarantee you they'd have more than a few ninjas on hand. There wouldn't just be one working alone. I don't think he can be poisoned. Oh, yes he is. He's poisoned. Two. Yes, I know that's not the right place to hit him, but I don't have much reach with these claws. doesn't matter anyway because the bleed just ripped off all that HP regardless. So, yay! Bleed still does its percentage-based damage, even if you're hitting a very highly armored zone. How about that? Okay. There's actually a chance to play sneaky. Not so much for that. Honestly, breaking that pot should have really done something, but nope. What can I say? I don't really like stealth games. My god, I haven't done these two legit without using sleep pots or sleep of any kind since the first time I played the game, and I got absolutely... It was not a good time. On the other hand, I don't have to think about poison because there's no point poisoning these guys. Right, I'm just gonna focus on... So I don't need to play the knife and poison card. I can just use the claws this time. Okay, this should go easier now that they'll be spawning one at a time. Now where do they spawn? Where do they spawn? Where do they spawn? Nope, just need one more hit. One more hit. There we go. Okay. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Whew, my target awaits. Now the question is, doggy or dragon? Doggy or dragon? Ooh, I have to go back the other way to fight dragon. Nuts. Doggy or dragon? Honestly, I think the dragon will be easier than the doggy. And I gotta kill this damn knight. Now, normally I don't kill the knights. Well, I mean, we kill the knights. That's what the ninjas did. They wanted to kill the knights, but they didn't fight them on their own terms. But this little bugger is in the way. So he has to go. And you don't want to be fighting him every time you want to run back this way, so I gotta take care of him. I'm not gonna be able to have help on this one, am I? Okay. Let's get him poisoned. You poisoned yet? You poisoned yet? You're poisoned. Okay. Okay, this is gonna suck. Oh, I'm so glad I spent the extra runes to get the lighter load because oof. Or I could just use Bloodhound Step. I keep forgetting to use those abilities. Because for this build, instead of having any sort of special abilities, I'm just using evasive maneuvers because that's really the only way to approximate the ninja agility, because it's not like I can run up walls in this game. Damn it, they're hitting me, trying to hit Tish. Somehow you still managed to screw everything up, Tish. Holy cow, the range of that. I haven't even attacked him yet. Why you... Well, I barely attacked him. Why do you keep attacking me? Okay, where are you? Yes, keep attacking her, not me. Her, not me. Her. You don't like her. Every time you get hit, it's actually her. It's not me. I am just here for more support. That was the first time I used Bloodhound Step properly. He's almost dead. Just get in there. No, you. So much for Bloodhound Step being useful. He was doing more ninja tricks than I do. Disappearing into mists and all that. That's more ninja-like than anything I've been doing. Now, I think Doggy's gonna be tricky. Now, I should have the speed to evade his attacks. It's the reach that's gonna be a problem. And with him, I don't think I'll have time to try to apply poison. Well, no. Well, unless I... Whoops. No. Crap, I need those. Now, I can by applying it to the claws. This is not going to work, so it's not like him, so... Nobody complain.
Destined death. I will not have it stolen.
Nice big shot on the blood. Crap. Well, that went way better than I was expecting. I thought the lack of reach would be a real problem, but... No, turns out my speed, the agility, and actually Bloodhound, while I'm remembering to use Bloodhound Fang, or Bloodhound Step, was actually handy there. Should I bother even using my... Well, I don't need to use the sword if I can just poison him normally. What do I got here? I haven't really needed to use any of my... I mean, the whole point of me re-speccing, because originally I had to set up so that I was like all bleed and poison innate with arcane scaling and all that stuff, and it was actually really, really powerful. Like, shockingly powerful. I mean, everyone always knows this with claws and all that, but, you know, I felt like it was pushing too into supernatural territory. It was a little too historically inaccurate, so I went back to just strength and quality and all that stuff, and I apply the poisons to my blade, because that's the ninja experience. So you apply the poisons to your blade. But I haven't really needed to do it. Just throwing poop seems to work best. Ooh, I'm out of poop. Or even the arrows. I am out of poop. If you do not know this game, that would probably sound like a very funny thing to say. Alright, got my poop back. Might have to use a crab here. So basically it just boiled down to not messing around. Because I was throwing the knives at that one point during the last fight. But no, the smarter thing to do was just to attack him while his back was turned. You know, to save Mimic Tear from getting wailed on. So he had HP for the next phase. That's it. That's really what it boiled down to. He's who I need to kill quickly. The Elden Beast is easy. Black knives have come for you, Radagon. You do a good job. Thanks, Tish. You did a lot of the heavy lifting there. Really, I don't need much, though, to kill the Elden Beast. Even one healing potion should be enough. Where are you, you little bugger? Took out Tish. I'm impressed. Oh, come on. That should be okay. I'm not fighting him again. I don't care. Good enough. Got really close. Good tip when you're doing this area, loot everything first. Don't do it after you start the whole event. Just loot the whole area first. Actually, speaking of ninja stuff, here's the black knife set, which I'm mostly using right now. Because it is, well, not that much of it actually, just the chest really, but as a Assassin's Guild, they're the closest thing to an actual ninja-like set compared to everything else. Also, you do not have to light every torch in one go, not anymore. Maybe it wasn't like that before, I don't know, but well, that's great. You don't have to do them all in one shot now. Because I could have sworn having to do them before. So, let me see. So, the way I do this, the way I got used to doing this was focusing on getting to this outer corner one first. Now, if I was actually playing like a real ninja and having, oh. If I was playing like a ninja with all the like stealth spells and everything, this should work. And they won't detect me. But since I'm trying to avoid using any magic... Now, technically this should work, sneaking around and all that stuff. But since I can't see them, I can't really tell if anything's working or not. So I like to start in this corner, because that particular black knife is usually easy to... Now, I also normally don't get spot by the archers until... I usually don't get spot by them, but I took a little bit of a direct route. Normally I don't do that. But if you start from over there and you don't go across the roofs at the beginning, the rooftops at the beginning, you won't spawn any archers. That was a mistake. This might be a problem here. That archer spawned. Okay, good. And now, so now all we have to do is get to there. So this one's the trickiest part, really. If you have a shield, this is not too bad. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's really all I have to worry about. Because the other one can't reach me from there. Oh, look, I'm a porcupine. And now, the last one is the simplest of all. Gotta be quick. Because there's an assassin right there. He can hit you while you're doing this, but if it's your last candle, he's gone. Oh, so close. Oof, that was scary. That made every cheek I had clench. Smooth. Well, okay, not entirely smooth. I died once, but still pretty quick. Oh crap, she's attacking the people from behind me again. Tish, come on. Thank you. I don't think poison worked again. Sounds like poison's worthless. Okay, well, whatever. She's down. So, but I think I'll do Moog first, because I think I should be able to beat him. Millennia, I don't think I will, because I never do that well against her. Well, okay, I do with certain builds that are focused on speed and relentless attacks, and this build can pull that off. So maybe. But I'm also not using optim... What? What? Oh, I survived. Oh. Okay. Now can I get through the front door? want to get stuck. Oh, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. I don't want to get stuck for like hours on this. So it's really not important that I beat her. And again, this is not a ninja thing. A ninja would not face her straight up. So if I can't beat her, then it's ninja accurate, we'll just say. But I have to beat Mog because DLC, so... Watch him just poison to death. Yeah, that's how ninjas do it. You're already dead, Mo. You're already dead.
I can see it. As clear as
Rest in peace,
the coming of our
my bloody prince. Yes, locking to a corner is, I'm glad this happened, because I would have forgotten to mention it otherwise. If you get her stuck in a corner, you can stun lock her just through sheer attack, especially if you have another person with you, because she's so easily flinched that she can't even go into Waterfowl Dance. If you just keep hitting her and hitting her, she'll never get out. So yeah, see, that was a good showcase of that. Leave me alone. Go after Tish. She's more damaging anyway. Actually, you know what? Go after me. It's actually better when she goes after me, because then Tish uses an attack against her with her back turned. Holy crap, does that thing do big damage. Why did... Wait, I don't think it used against Scott. Whoa, I had no idea Tish was so powerful, honestly. Actually, he's more useful than my stupid Mimic tier. Ooh, now that I think about it, that might actually be against the rules, because because of Tish's little poisons. You know what? You could argue that's against the rules. But at the same time, I wouldn't have... Poison doesn't seem to really... Okay, you know what? I think it would be against the rules, but I'm not fighting her again or redoing the game again. Or anything like that, just to prove otherwise, so... It's fine the way it is. But I won't be using Tish from now on because I did not know how powerful that ability is. I mean, I knew she had it, but I didn't think it was that strong. That could, like, reduce their max HP and does a massive chunk of dot damage on top of it. I did not know, because I have not actually played through the game normally yet. So I haven't actually seen all the abilities and the Spirit Ashes and all these things and seen how they work. This is all kind of new to me. So yeah. So I won't use her again. I'll say that much, because that ability is definitely very supernatural-ish. I'm trying to avoid that, but I didn't know. I was sort of thinking of it along the lines of poison that can actually work on these people, because it seems like regular poison doesn't often work, or they're too resistant to it, but unless it's really, really not working, it does seem to work eventually. But yeah, no, I won't use Tish anymore. I do need to take care of these people. Honestly, the ninjas wouldn't... They didn't actually, like, they didn't really interact with people. I mean, yes, there were some that would hire themselves out as mercenaries, but the reality is they treat themselves more like an exclusive club. They would not be hiring, you know, random guys to be like, oh, hey, you look like a cool swordsman, want to help us out? No, they would never do that. They were too secretive, because at the time they were battling the samurai, and if you accidentally revealed yourself to a samurai sympathizer, or more like a lord of the region sympathizer, then your whole clan was screwed. So that whole thing about secrecy and being hidden in, like, extremely remote villages in the middle of forests and being completely unknown and completely just isolated is totally true. They totally did that. That was absolutely 100% correct. They were extremely paranoid. But a lot of them also operated within cities too. Like, sure, there were groups that were isolated and hiding all the time, but they also operated in cities too, because originally the idea was, or at least this is supposedly, I don't know if this is 100% true, but they were basically just peasants who felt like they needed to, like, develop a form of warfare that could counter armored knights. Actually, wait, let me see if more has anything I can use. He actually sells a lot of stuff that is key for more rare ingredients. I can always use rune arcs. And of course, you're going to want Holy Proof. But yeah, no, they were mostly just peasants who felt like they needed to develop a form of warfare that could counter the samurai, and that's where you get all these shinobi tactics, the whole subterfuge, sneaking, poison, all that stuff. Deal with these heavily armored, overpowering foes. And they would operate in cities too. There's a very, like, you know, the whole shadowy underground guilds and all that. Yes, I know I'm running through... Oh, I got hit for once. Yes, I know I'm running through, but technically ninjas would not fight everything anyway. They'd sneak around everything and avoid everything. And if I could be 100% accurate, I'd be climbing up the walls directly to my next target and not fighting through the area, but that's not really a thing in Elden Ring. There is some minor rooftop parkour, which is nice that that's a thing, but the actual act of climbing up walls and going through windows and sneaking around and all that stuff is not really a thing. I mean, I could sneak by all these creatures and enemies, but honestly, it's faster to just run by everything. Well, except at this point. At this point, it's better to just let him to sneak by him. Also, Elden Ring stealth is pretty inconsistent, so I would really... Stealth is not really a really good thing in Elden Ring. It's not the best trait of the game. It's good enough, but it's not that great. You're just going to be using some of the strongest strategies, bleed, frost, all that stuff. You go away. Go away. I don't have time for you. Haha, he went too far. Okay. Wait. Is there a sword in my head? I'm a unicorn. Where'd my sword go? Oh, there it is. Ooh. This is why you don't dodge with a sword in your hand. I definitely had played for a week if you haven't told. Good that you didn't tell. Alright, Bo. Let's see, can I poison you? Maybe? Come on. Oh, yeah, he's poisoned. You know, I really haven't had a chance to use the sword, honestly. I haven't needed it. Oh, right. No lock on against him. I forgot. Don't want the lock on. It's not helpful. Before anyone says that it's unfair to be using... Oh shit, the Mimikir's dead. Okay. Crap. Before anyone says it's unfair to be using claws like this because ninjas didn't actually use claws. And it's true, they didn't actually use claws. What they used were climbing hooks that looked like claws. I just happened to go with these claws because they look the most similar to the ones that the ninjas would actually use. But keep in mind, if you saw my very first stream, the way I originally had this set up was all arcane, and that was too powerful. And anyway, so my original setup with this ninja was I ignored like statistical rules. It's like, oh well, you know, I mean, arcane's good with claws and all this, and poisons, so I should be using arcane and, you know, occult builds and all that. But it was too powerful. Which sounds funny, but it felt like I was avoiding the necessary element of the historically accurate ninja, which was applying poisons, or using poisons. But, I mean, what's the point of using poisons if I just get poison on one blade and bleed on the other, or something like that, and just, you know, go to town that way? And it felt like I was avoiding some of the key elements of how playing a ninja, or how historically accurate ninja would really be. So, no more occult builds. Well, at that point, it felt like all I was doing was creating, like, magically enchanted blades to deal blood and poison damage. And, like, no, I gotta apply the blood. And plus, you know, ninjas are all about being athletic, strong, quick, all that stuff. No magic, so that builds out the window. So, if anyone thinks, oh, you're using claws, that's like, yeah, but they're not optimized. This is not the optimal build for claws. So I think that's fair. I am nowhere near as strong as I was when I was all built up with the cult and all that. Did I lose my light roll? No, that looks light. I don't feel like I'm moving that fast suddenly. Now we gotta be quiet. I mean, he totally can see me, but, well, whatever. But I really don't want to fight him. He's a real pain in the butt. I mean, it's kind of like my... What the heck is that doing here? Why is this here? How did this even get all the way over here? I guess every now and again the Knights like to play soccer or something. I mean, it's actually a nice little field. Nice little space. Maybe a little tumbleweed basketball. I don't know where they would... Hey! Don't knock me out of my stealth. And one of the few times I'm actually going to stealth in this stupid run and I'm being hit from far away. See, another reason why I don't really want to do the stealth stuff, it's kind of inconsistent anyway. Bye! Don't attack me, don't attack me. And unfortunately, if I attack this guy, it'll actually trigger the knight, so nope. I can attack him though. Fine, I'll do one assassination for you. There you go, you got an assassination. Here we go. Oh, actually, no, this is a good ninja thing. I mean, yeah, she, ninja versus samurai. I mean, she's not a samurai, she's a knight, but, you know, same idea. And as usual, I can summon help, because that's what ninjas actually did. They did not work alone. I mean, sometimes they did, but not like an actual organized ninja operation didn't work alone. Okay, lately I found using the arrows better than using the poop. And yes, oh, that didn't take long at all. Yes, ninjas were more than happy to use poop if it meant poisoning people. Animal fangs, poisons, venoms, they used it no problem. It didn't bother them at all. Oh, that was awful. Okay, all yours, buddy. Finish her off. Well, that went well. But I love how the fights against the actual knight characters are going roughly the way an actual ninja fight would go, or at least what I imagine it would go. Well, except against Neil. That did not go very well. But then again, they wouldn't normally fight like groups of them at once. Okay, how am I going to deal with these? I actually need these people dead. I don't want them fighting against me later on. Because a ninja would not... Well, frankly, a realistic ninja would not actually get in the fight in the first place against groups of enemies like that. So, how am I going to handle this?
Hello, did you meet my... They're quite the... Doubtless, were it not for this, the work.
And I definitely gotta get rid of Moore. I've never actually fought Moore, but I imagine he's a... I've seen a lot of people say he's a royal pain in the butt in that fight. So I need to get rid of as many people as possible. I really don't want to get caught up in all the NPC quests. Really, if you avoid all the NPC questing, this can actually go pretty fast. Come on, why am I all my dodges off lately? It's not like I can't dodge anything. Oh yeah, right. I forgot. You don't lock onto the hippo. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was the trick I forgot. Because, fun fact, when you are locked on to enemies in Elden Ring, they're locked onto you. And that actually makes them easier for them to hit you. It's weird, but it's true. And in the case of the hippo, it's very obvious. You stop locking onto him, and suddenly all of his attacks miss much more often. It's a funny thing, but that's the way it works, apparently. Okay, this spot's tricky. Because I can't use poisons, and these birds are a pain in the butt. There you are. Yeah, I see you. Come down. Okay, where's the next one? Where's the next bogger? You. No, you first. Well, that was annoying. And you over there. You. Come on. Come on. Come over here. Come on. Stop hiding. I know you're there. Get over here. Come on. Come on. Move your ass. Get over here. Come on. No, no flames. That's not nice. No, that was wasteful. 3 potions. I haven't... Wait. I got my... Oh, I got my tears back. Yay. Okay, now the stupid bird. If I weren't playing historically accurate rules, I'd have some sort of like holy bolts or something. But no, I gotta play by the rules. Oh, my arrows aren't reaching. There we go. Come on. I can't poison you. Well, at least I'm pretty sure I can't poison you. This guy's a bigger pain in the ass than any of the death birds in the regular game, so he's the one I'm fighting. You got something on your face, buddy. Maybe about half a dozen arrows? And down he goes. Admittedly letting the tier do more of the work, but hey, that's historically accurate. I know, using it like a crutch at this point, but it's true! Ninjas did not act alone in a straight fight. They weren't alone. They had help. That's just how it actually went. What can I tell you? So yeah, my point was, yes, there are stories of real historical figures actually, and real knights actually fighting dragons. But are there any stories of ninjas fighting them? I don't know. I've never heard any. I've never seen any mentioned. There are stories of ninjas fighting ghosts, though. Real stories of ninjas fighting ghosts. Yeah, really. Samurai, too. But, I mean, that's less of a mythology thing and just more like, I think the Japanese just really love ghost stories. So they even have them going as far back as, like, ancient, like, samurai era and all those periods. Alright, how do I get down here again? Oh, something blew up. I don't want to die. Eee. I do not have that much time. Oh, shoot, one of the stupid wizards. I don't want to see your butt. Your butt's right in the camera's face. You're right in the face of the camera. With your little bony butt. Stony butt. Bones? Stones? They're imps. I always saw them as like gargoyles, because they have gargoyle heads. I don't think I'll have time to do any poisoning with him. Nope, not my sword. I don't need the sword. Where'd you go? That's right, go after me. There you go. Now you gotta deal with him. Yeah. Ninja buddies. So, I know this is the point where I'd actually play a ninja, but again, I just don't like stealth. I don't like stealth games. I don't like stealth in games that aren't actually stealth games where they have stealth sections, so I'm afraid I will be breaking the ninja tradition here, and you know, if you don't get this right, this can take a really long time, and as I've mentioned, I do have things I really need to do tomorrow. So, I will be pulling out my trump card. And now I'm essentially invisible. Alright, give it a minute. Okay, that should be enough. Okay, that should be the end of them. And there's the mansion. There it is. Yeah. I mean, you look at this, when you found this place in the mist, did you really expect this to just be some tiny little dungeon? No, you expected something. Like, look at the size of this place. It's bigger than some palaces. I mean, it's a palace. Like, wow. I mean, yikes. And yet such a small dungeon. Oh well. They clearly ran out of time making the DLC. But whatever, it's still bigger than most games. I mean, like a lot of RPGs are basically this size to be in terms of how long to beat. Come on, I guess he can't be poisoned. Holy cow, you did it without going into phase 2. What the heck was that? Okay. Ninja power. No, not even a phase 2. Like, or maybe he did go phase 2. I don't know, he didn't do the big fireball thing. Cathedral, yeah. Who saw this area and thought it'd be like a real cool dungeon the first time they encountered it? I guess that's one... I guess I shouldn't say I was disappointed that there was a lack of dungeons, because the DLC is plenty big, because it felt like there's a lot of big empty space. Like, sure, the DLC is big, but a lot of it is just, you know, just open plains and fields to run across. But it's still fairly long as a DLC. I mean, it still took me like 30 hours to beat it the first time, you know. And there's still plenty of dungeons, but I guess, you know, you see these big buildings, like, cool dungeon, and then ends up just being, you know, oh, it's a really big building, but all you do is just talk to a guy. But really, that's just a preference thing. There's nothing really wrong. I'm just saying, you know, I prefer I was perfectly fine with the old set of the Dark Souls games where you just, you know, it's basically just one really long dungeon, like a dungeon delving game, you know, dungeon after dungeon after dungeon. I just preferred that. Yeah, FromSoft has been acting like a very small developer for the longest time. Oh shit. Which way do I go first? Which way do I go first? I gotta get that. I gotta go back this way. Hi. No, bye. Oh shoot. I was trying to be cute. Nope. And I'm not going to be using any NPC help for any of these boss fights because they're not ninjas, they're not part of the clan, so no NPC help. Not even in the big brawl. So everyone's going to have to die. Oh, I was thinking the regular way for a second. I was looking for more stairs up. Alright, I gotta think about my hit list here. Well, I don't never want to fight more straight up, because he's got a shit ton of armor. Lita's fine. Ansbach's actually really tough. Hornsend is easy to kill. I mean, Firehead there went down shockingly quickly. He didn't even go into a second phase. So who knows? Maybe guys will too. I doubt it though. Ranged weapons definitely make like longer reach weapons definitely make a difference here. So this could be tough. Crap. So, my goal in this run is to finish off all the remaining bosses. And also, I have to take out some NPCs, because, you know, the Lolita fight. So, unfortunately, Mr. Tholier, I'm afraid you are going to have to go. Poor guy, but what can I say? You're not a ninja clan. Yes, I know you can help me in the fight, but you ain't ninja clan, so sorry. Wait, what? Hey, he disappeared. Are they all like that? Yeah, you know what? I kind of figured that would happen. Just to make things clear, I am going to do some Agrius tonight no matter what. This is one of these few nights I have where I have some free time to do what I want, so I don't have to worry about anything else tonight. So this is night. Now, exactly how much I do, well, that's a different story. Well, that was quick. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to do Agrius tonight, but I might not do a very long stream. What's that? No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this will go by quick. No, stop getting yourself killed, Mimic Tier. Wow, Mimic Tier did a great job just then. Well, other than just charging in and getting hit over and over again there, but still, good. That's hope she can be poisoned. I don't know. I don't think she can be poisoned. At least not easily. Nope, guess not. Wow, reach was gonna literally get me killed again. This lack of reach is really starting to mess me up now. Hello, wake up. Wake up! Now, suddenly I'm looking like a master dodger just then. Even though I was getting stupid reckless, so I don't know what to tell you. That went by swimmingly. Alright, I should go check on Lita. Don't fight him in the water, folks. So why are the dragons going down so much quicker? I don't get it. Well, okay, no, it's really not that hard to explain. The dragons are from the base game, so... And I should probably use the... I'm going to see if I can do it without using any crabs. Honestly, I don't even know why I bother using the short sword. It's never... You know, that's kind of within the realm of the ninja. I'm just not using the stupid short sword because I don't need it. I have so many other sources to inflict poison that I don't need to apply the blade, which is fair. I don't need to apply poison to the blade. Oh, right, the first time he's going to have to have a big fancy entrance, blah, blah, blah. Where are you, Mimic? Was he using the arrow the whole time? He was using the arrow the whole time. He was playing the role of Egon. Well, I mean, thanks, I guess. I mean, that was probably the right thing to do. I mean, I guess someone had to play Egon. Okay, so this is the part where the historically accurate ninja fights Radahn, Lita, Mesmer, and all those wonderful bosses. Unfortunately, if you saw the stream, then you know what happened. My internet went out, which triggered a glitch that affected all my ninja recordings and even my Agris recordings, but I didn't find out until later. So all that final footage for the ninja run, it's gone. It's corrupted. It's not recorded, and in fact, it carried over into the next day, where I was recording Agris, and even her footage wasn't recorded. So now the stream is still there. Agris stream is still there. You can still enjoy all my wonderful, your favorite moments on the stream, but the actual follow-up vid, the footage is gone. I'm sorry, it was never recording. And the same thing happened with Ninja. I couldn't get the thing starting again that night when the stream failed. Stuff wasn't working. I had like only an hour or two to get the Agris stream running, and so I had to make the choice. I had to say, I have to stop here. I have to transfer the Agris file to the PS5, which overwrote the Ninja file, and that's the end of it. So, sorry, unfortunately, we will not get to see if historically accurate Ninja could stand up to Radahn. It's unfortunate, but you know what? They would never, a real ninja would never fight a guy like that straight up anyway. I'm sorry, but hey, you know what? I'm having an idea right now for anime ninja. So what would happen if we play the ninja, but this time we go full anime? Let me know if you want to see that. But even though that everything got messed up, I was able to record a few boss fights that I wasn't able to get beat at the time of Historically Ninja. So I'll play those after this, but everything else, for some reason, everything after that just went weird and stopped working. I don't understand why. It's unfortunate. It happens. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the historically accurate ninja run. And now here's those final few bosses I wasn't able to get to in the stream or beat in the stream. Hope you enjoy it.